Hello, and welcome to Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. Our goal is to enlighten and inspire. My name is Sandra Jennings, and thank you for watching. We are broadcasting live, and we are taking your comments in this judgment free zone. If you are watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing to our channel. My guest tonight is passionate about all things computer, so much so that he and his friends started an IT company and a nonprofit organization where they teach youth computer coding. Please welcome co founder of Aztec and Code on Wheels, Angel Cruz. Hi, Angel.
Oh, Sandra, how you doing?
I'm good. I have to share this. I'm learning Spanish, right? And we met a few months ago, and I just absolutely butchered your name. And I've been calling you Angel, and every time you say it's Angel, and I say hi, Angel, and you say it's Angel. So finally, I got it. I think my Spanish training that I've been doing is putting me up there, but finally, I got it. It's Angel, and I'm saying it. So
You are. Good job.
good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I was really excited because this is not my first time talking about coding. It is my first time talking to you about it. Um, and it's important to me, especially what you're doing. But before we start, tell me a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Again, my name is Angel Cruz. I was born in Chicago. However, when I was one, my mother and my father, they split up, and so my mom went back to Mexico. And so for the first years of my life, I grew up in Mexico. Therefore, the accent that I had, right? A lot of times when I tell people I'm from Chicago, they get surprised. I'm like, what? Well, no, yeah, I was born there. However, I didn't grow up there. And so yeah, I had the opportunity to learn about my heritage and just saw a different country and different culture. And honestly, I think that's what helped me become who I am and appreciate what I have here in the United States, just because of the way I grew up in Mexico with five sisters, single mom, all of that. That time into first, I mean, being in a Latino household, uh, a lot of times we are raised with a mentality, especially in the Mexican culture. I can speak about the Mexican culture. I don't know about the Latinos, but I know at least in our Mexican culture, there's a lot of machismo. And so a lot of times we are raised as, oh, you're the man of the house. However, I feel like my mom did a good job teaching all my sisters and I that, you know what, we're equal. Yes, I still have some responsibilities as the guy, just to teach me, to be a better person, a better man, but still, equally, so that was really good.
So, where at in Mexico?
Yeah, so it's called Michoacan. Michoacan, virtually, is a state where it's on the list of states not to visit. But it's a small town. It's called Poturo. No one hears about it. No one knows about it unless they're from there or close. I've met two
Mhm.
people here in the United States who are familiar with that town, but it's a town 4 hours south from our capital of Michoacan, which is Morelia, 8 hours south of Mexico City, which most people know Mexico City. But yeah, it's a village, a very beautiful village. A lot of mountains, a lot of green space, so refreshing, and it's nice to go back always.
So, you grew up in the West Michigan area?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was 10, my mom told me, "Hey, your dad wants you to go with him." And I knew I was a citizen. I didn't know what I mean though back when I was little. I knew I had papers, although it's just certificate that I was born here.
Mhm.
And my mom told me, "Hey, your dad wants to take you to the United States just to study over there because you can get a better education." And so, I decided to come. I wanted to meet my father, and I always heard good things about the United States. And so I came, and I was 10 when I first came here to Michigan. I didn't go to Chicago, but here to Michigan. So Grand Rapids in the West Michigan area.
I love Michigan, but never mind. We're not gonna get started on the country. We're not gonna get started in this election season. Anyway, so we're here to talk about Aztec and Code on Wheels. And before we go any further, I want to show because you are a co-founder and you have partners. So I kind of want to show people your team. So I'm going to bring them on real quick from your this is the Code on Wheels website. And we're going to talk about this Code on Wheels as well as Aztec. But I did want to just um, go a little bit about who you are. Let me see. Do I have to go about us? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Let me go to about us. So, this is you guys, your story and vision and mission. And here is your leadership team. There's you, Angel. There's Geraldo Gonzalez. If I'm saying that wrong, don't let me butcher it.
you got it right.
Okay. And then you got Jose Meza. Is it Meza? Meza?
Jose Mesa, yep,
Jose Mesa.
and Luis
And
Perez.
Lewis Press. Okay. And those are your partners with a Code on Wheels as well as Aztec.
No, with Aztec, Geraldo Gonzalez is my only partner. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, with Gordon Wills, we want to keep it there. So Joe
Hmm.
Royston, he's a board member currently, and there's four of us board members. We have to update that team page. We haven't had that time. We're out there working with the students, and we haven't had the time to do this. But yeah, with Gordon Wills, is
Hmm.
three founders of the organization, and now a board members. As board members, we have four board members, and with Aztec again, myself and Gerardo are co-founders.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to do that because you are co-founders with both ventures. Um, so tell us a little bit. I'm more interested on the Code on Wheels, which is the nonprofit that serves youth. So how did y'all get started? How did that hatch?
Yeah, so back in 2017, we was in Grand Valley pursuing undergrad in economics. Uh, Reese was at Western pursuing a uh, uh, business analytics undergrad,
Hmm.
uh, um, and I apologize, a business degree in computer science mix out of Western, and Jose Mesa was pursuing a business degree. Grand Valley also at that time, and we were discussing about a business opportunity we saw to compete through different schools and West Michigan.
Hmm.
It was going to be through Grand Valley, and we were just like, we liked the idea of starting a business. Honestly, we were just trying to build. Oh, let's start a business. It was not about the passion we had. It wasn't about uh, the greater good. It was just for ourselves. Like, hey, we start a business. And during discovery, we were discussing, oh, what can we do? What can we start? And Luis, he shared his story that during high school he did some computer classes, and he was the only Latino student. So we went to JRPS. Luis, Jose, and myself, we know each other since middle school. So we've done all the same classes, same school systems, and we went to Southwest Community Campus and then junior high school. Neither of those schools had computer classes to offer for us. So we did have a program though through JRPS called KCTC, and that's how Luis did some after-school programs, and he did some computer classes. Again, he was the only student there of color, I believe, for the most part. And then we got to college, same thing. He only Latino, uh, you know, in a computer in a class.
Hmm.
And so we were discussing just how, uh, you know, that's not good, right? Like looking at the demographics, we were looking at the demographics now. The data is different now, but back in 2017, the data we were looking at, it showed that 78% of people in coding and tech-related jobs were Caucasian. 86 of those were male. Again, we knew we could do something for Bada, and that's how we started about. At that time, Loop Coding Center, and it was an LLC just because it was easy to get going. And we always ran as a nonprofit. However, it was all about partnerships with organizations, schools, and nonprofits, and it was all about again affordable classes because we knew that the students we were trying to target often perhaps didn't have the funding to pay for a coding program. Now there's a lot of coding programs out there. There's some online for free. However, we know that when you're trying something new, it's good to have a support system, and you want people around you who are learning and just navigating the same as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we like having the classroom style. And there's one program that exists that does a phenomenal job. I mean, they're a great program. They get students into big schools. However, it's so expensive. And if you look at the demographics, the students in the photos and for sure, most of them look like white males. Again, we were trying to diversify the ecosystem, and that's why we decided to launch our organization. And just recently, we became a 501c3 nonprofit this
Okay.
year. But
Okay.
yeah, we started that back in 2017, and now we're finally again becoming a nonprofit. We've always run as a nonprofit, but we knew it was time to make it official.
So all your partners are Latino, right?
So all of our partners are Latino and are male. We know that's a problem. Again, because we want to work with different demographics, like why are all our board members are all guys? And so that's something we're always working on trying to improve, right? So always talking to people who, females or different perspectives, African American, again, trying to bring that perspective to our board because we want to put our money where our mouth is. And so but we need to represent ourselves as well like that.
There's some people out there that are doing exactly what you are doing with a nonprofit, with to youth children of color. So we'll make sure you get connected with them because who knows, I just think like you and like the mission of Code on Wheels, you want to diversify the field, period. You want it's
Correct.
just not enough, there's not enough color there. And it's not enough females.
No,
Hello.
my gosh, not at all, though. Again, I have five sisters, and I want them to be in technology. For us, is we all have different perspectives, and for me, I know that we can expose because it's all about exposure. That's why Code and Wheels we exist to expose students to technology, right? To teach
Mhm.
them something that perhaps they've never been exposed to before, because we know that that could potentially change their lives, right? And we know that if we can prepare the student with the right foundation, hopefully, if they're going to computer science or in the tech-related field, there's so many careers that pay so well, and that is one of the fastest ways you can see students, getting out of poverty because they're going into jobs that pay well. We know that we can start there.
So, how did you get into coding yourself?
I'm not a coder. I'll get that right off. I'm not a coder.
Okay.
We have a great team of both Code on Wheels and Aztec of coders. For me, I'm all passionate about youth development. So I started my career at the Y, watching so many videos at the Y about youth development.
Mhm.
A piece of that sticks to your brain, and
Mhm.
so I really value that. For me, again, I uh, I I believe that if we can prepare students with the right foundation, we can get them into better careers. And just based on my background, I think that's why I empathize with a lot of students who are younger and I want them to succeed. And so through Code on Wheels, but as partnering, so my focus is on partnerships and just relations with organizations, which is something that I love doing. Again, growing up in Mexico, I was always with my mother. She used to sell candy, and I was with her all the time, just selling candy. And I feel like I learned so many of those skills of how to build relations with people. She had such great customers, and it was relationships, not selling necessarily, but just building relationships. And I feel that helped me just gain those skills. And that's what I do now with both organizations. It's all about relationship building and again partnerships because again we're not going to do the work ourselves. We know if there's people out there. I know Ken, I don't know when, but I know you had Dr. Kelly here on your channel, and she's a partner of us for Code and Wheels, and we work with her with that as Aztec as well. So again, we know all about those partnerships, and
Oh,
so yeah, that's how we started. But through Code and Wheels, I exposed myself to technology. I went to school for economics. My goal was to go to law school, become an attorney.
mhm.
I quickly learned that that was not what I like.
Mhm.
I entered a law firm and that was not it for me. I'm like, okay, too much. It's too much stress. I don't like it. Now, with Code on Wheels, by us teaching kids how to code, I exposed myself to technology, and that's how there was so much opportunities for things to do with tech to help businesses with them. And businesses were reaching out through us during COVID about needing this, needing that. And so I talked to Gerardo. I know Gerardo had the idea of starting a business already. He actually had an MSTech already. And
Mhm.
we were like, oh, let's do something. And so we had some capital. I won on the competition, and we started Aztec.
So, I was going to ask you, but you answered the question about school. Like you, I know that you have an administrative for talking to, you have a gift for talking to people and for the administrative side of you guys' business and the nonprofit. But you didn't finish college, right?
No, I did not. So for again, I don't want to get too much into my background when it comes to my
Hmm.
personal life,
That's okay.
but growing up, I didn't have the best structure. I didn't have the best foundation here.
And that's what we want. And not to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to point that out that, you don't have to have
No,
19 college degrees
no.
to be successful in business or to be successful in a computer-based business.
No, for me, yeah, I'm all about that. Like I tell students, now everyone should definitely have the opportunity to try college. I
Hmm.
want them to have the opportunity to say, you know what, I tried this, it didn't work for me. But there is so many skills out there the students can learn. And there's a lot of students that like to work with their hands, and that's okay. And I feel like that's something we need to do more with our kids is like teach them, hey, you don't need a degree. You don't need now if you want to a certain career, yes, you need one. But if that's not for you, that's okay. But at least do something with your life, learn a technical skill, go to a CC and do a trade job. I mean, 2 to 3 years of a trade job, you can be making more than 6 figures as a plumber. And again, there's so many opportunities out there. It's just as long as we're doing something right that we're passionate for. I heard this in a podcast once. I can't remember who it was, but it was saying that a lot of times people tell you to follow your dreams or follow your passion, but a lot of times our passion does not pay the bills. So follow an opportunity, but do it with passion.
Right. Okay. I
Mhm.
got you. I can appreciate that.
And yeah, and again, that's what with me. Like again, I didn't finish my undergrad, and I just have so much stuff going on during that time. And
Hmm.
honestly, it was a waste of my time. I was going to school, but I had so much baggage, so many stuff that I had to deal with, which at that time I was not thinking of. But now as an adult, I analyze my back then. I'm like, man, I had a lot going on. That it's just I was just not doing well in school, and it was a waste of money actually. And school is very expensive, and
Hmm.
so it was just not worth it. And so just started doing different stuff. I've always been busy though. I've always worked. I've been working since I was 15. Again, I've been otherwise since I was 15. Always been doing something with my life. And so I knew that again, I was passionate about what we were doing with Code and Wheels and Aztec. And so, just started focusing more on that.
And yeah, and it's clear that you've always done. Your mom taught you that. I can see
Oh
that.
yeah.
She taught you. You got to get out there and make your way. You got to be the rainmaker in your family, or at least in your life.
Right.
But I guess my point was I need kids to understand you do not have to have a lot of college. If you're a college dropout, if you didn't go to college and you just have the aptitude, get with a program. So do you charge the students, the youth?
We Yep. So we don't work with students directly. We work with organizations who work with students, and we
Okay.
provide the curriculums and the instructions. The
Okay.
instructor. We did that because when we first started, we were trying to do classes in the office space where we work out of. Star Garden, which is downtown, they offer a space.
Mhm.
The sponsor code was to be here, and we're there now. We're here now. We pay nothing, to be here, and we've always appreciated the partnership with Star Garden. However, we knew the space was not accessible for students that we were working with. The demographics that we work with, or we were trying to work with, they don't come downtown. And we're very cautious about who we work with because of that. Luis Perez, one of our founders, he built this map when we can see uh, zip codes that we're working
Mhm.
with. Again, because we're cautious of who we work with because again we want to bring that diversity, and so we knew we had to find organizations out there in the community where we can bring the coding, and that's why again Code on Wheels will bring the code on wheels. We bring it to you a place where the students are already comfortable in learning, right?
Mhm.
Because you want the students to be in the comfort area for them to learn, and so we come to them.
Okay. Excellent. So, gosh, I think I'm got all my questions answered. I'm really excited about what you're doing out there. Because our kids, we need to diversify. We need to put color in tech and in STEM careers. And I'm glad that you're doing that. In a perfect world, what would you like to see happen with Code on Wheels or Aztec for that matter?
In a perfect world, I've always had this dream of Aztec having a space either in the Granville community or the Burn Hash community, Latino population where there's a lot of Latinos, to be accessible in in that community. For us to be at a place where we can have our business there working and then have Code on Wheels in the same building, or Code on Wheels having a building and we rent out of Code on Wheels where students can eventually. I would like us to find funding where they can businesses. If I can find a nonprofit to pay for our students to work on projects hands on for a small nonprofit. There's a lot of business out there without a website who don't have capital, and so oh, come to us. We have a partnership with Aztec and Code on Wheels, and we have our students working on projects, learning hand-on learning, where they
Hmm.
can work on a website for businesses. Another thing we want to see, which we are working on right now, is a pipeline for Code on Wheels. Again, we started because of the exposure, and the exposure is great. Now, we understand that not every student is just going to need that exposure. They need more beyond that. So our curriculums for Code on Wheels, we focus a lot also on the soft skills, which are so critical for development. And
Hmm.
so we focus on the four C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. Skills are essential for any career, I think. And so for us, again, we want every student to gain something because we know that maybe two or three out of 20 students are actually going to go and become developers,
Hmm.
and that's okay. At least every student got exposure, and if they didn't focus on the tech, they still focus on the soft skills, and they still learn the soft skills are so valuable for them. And then again, with that pipeline, if we can give the students those foundations
Hmm.
and those fundamentals, hopefully we can work with either URCC, Grand Valley, or KCTC, so we can get our students going through our programs into those organizations, so they can go and do more technical work, and hopefully they can be in the job market within 2 to 3 years.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. That is there any thoughts you'd like to leave us with? I know that your time is pressed.
No, I think again, I think I got everything. Hopefully,
Okay.
again, if there's any, it takes a village, and so if there's any support out there that people want to give, codeonwheels.org, we're always looking for volunteers, and we're always looking for people. We're always looking for donations as well. You can donate through our website.
Mhm.
Again,
And just
anything
go
you
to
can
the
do,
website right there.
or
Sign
any
it.
connections. And if there's a business out there who needs a website, we do websites through Aztec.us. Again, I'm always, you know, I'm up all the time. So if you need to talk to me anytime, you let me know. I'll
And
answer the phone at 2 in the morning. You name it, I'll be
I'm
there.
glad you're connected with Dr. Kelly for her STEM program.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
what that Kelly is doing, and I love again. It's all about partnerships, and we love the relationship.
All right, cool. Well, okay, Angel, I appreciate you, Code on Wheels and Aztec co-founder. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate you. And
Thank you so much, Sandra.
hopefully you get some love out there. All
Hope
right. Bye everyone.